It was a moonless night when Emily, a young nurse, found herself standing outside the imposing gates of St. Mary's Hospital. The hospital had been closed for years, a relic of a bygone era with its faded walls and shattered windows. It stood as a chilling reminder of the horrors that had occurred within its walls, but Emily had no choice. She needed a job, and the abandoned hospital was her only option. Emily took a deep breath and pushed open the creaking gates. The wind howled through the broken windows, and she shivered as an eerie chill swept over her. Ignoring her unease, she made her way down the darkened hallway, her footsteps echoing in the empty corridors. As Emily reached the nurse's station, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. She glanced around, but the hospital was deserted, or so she thought. From the shadows, a faint whisper reached her ears, like a soft, mournful cry. She told herself it was just her imagination and continued her exploration. Her first night at St. Mary's was uneventful, aside from the ever-present feeling of unease. Emily checked the empty patient rooms and the decaying operating theater. It was as if the hospital itself was holding its breath, waiting for something. The second night was different. As Emily passed by the old psychiatric ward, a chilling wail filled the air. She froze, her heart pounding. She knew she was alone in the hospital, yet the cries grew louder and more anguished. Gathering her courage, she ventured into the ward. The room was in shambles, with broken furniture and tattered curtains. But in the far corner, a figure sat, its back hunched. Emily's breath caught in her throat as she realized it was a ghostly patient, rocking back and forth, lost in its own torment. "Who are you?" Emily whispered, her voice trembling. The figure didn't respond, but its mournful cries continued. Emily couldn't tear her eyes away from the spectral patient, who seemed trapped in a never-ending nightmare. She knew she had to find a way to help it. But how? The following night, Emily returned to the hospital with a sense of purpose. Armed with old medical records she had found hidden away, she discovered the tragic truth of St. Mary's Hospital. Decades ago, the hospital had been a place of experimentation, a house of horrors where patients were subjected to cruel treatments in the name of science. Emily's research revealed that the patient she had encountered was a victim of these cruel experiments, and she had died in agony within the hospital's walls. Determined to free the tormented soul, Emily delved into the occult, seeking guidance on how to help the restless spirit find peace. On the fourth night, she returned to the psychiatric ward with a bundle of white sage and a small silver cross. She lit the sage, its fragrant smoke filling the room, and recited an incantation she had found in an ancient book of rituals. As the room filled with an otherworldly light, the tormented spirit slowly began to fade. Tears welled in Emily's eyes as she watched the soul's anguished cries turn to whispers of gratitude. With a final, ethereal sigh, the spirit dissipated, leaving behind an eerie silence that echoed through the ward. With the spirit gone, the hospital felt lighter, as if a dark cloud had lifted. Emily knew her mission was complete, and she had brought peace to a tormented soul. She left the hospital, never to return, but the memory of her encounter haunted her for the rest of her days. As Emily walked away from St. Mary's Hospital, she couldn't help but wonder how many more tormented souls remained trapped within its walls, waiting for someone brave enough to free them from their eternal torment.